Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. Today, we are looking at a gray ink from the Birmingham Pen Company. Birmingham Pen Company, Molten Tin. Thanks go out to Gary and Kathy Scott for providing the sample for this review. Yes. Alright. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Before we start the review, we're going to share this with our friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. All right. Okay. Now that we've shared this with all of our friends, hello Darwins and Scribbles, how are you doing today? My throat seems to be a little shaggy. Alright. Here we have our ink of the day. This is a gray ink, although it is showing up as purple. I mean, it might be like a purpley gray ink, but this is much lighter than it looks on camera. Yeah, I can't seem to get it to be cooperative. Anyway, we're just gonna have to wing it. If you have a sample of any of the comparisons, you will be able to see how gray this is comparatively. Well, there, it kind of looks like how it looks on camera. So, this is a gray ink, and the water resistance test shows that I might not want to use this on the outside of an envelope for fear it may wash away. And here is our toilet paper chromatography, and it shows that there is some pink and some purple, and then right along the edge there's some blackish green or gray. And then here is our ink splotch. Okay, let's do some paper review, shall we? This is the Pen and Gear memo book from Walmart.com. There does seem to be one little feather there, but no bleeding, no ghosting. Oh, a little bit of ghosting. This is lightweight traveler's notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, normal ghosting. This is super lightweight traveler's notebook paper. I had a real hard time writing out this word because the ink refused to grab the page. I don't know if it's because I got oil on the paper or from my hands or whatever, but it was being uncooperative. But normal ghosting. This is Moleskine 70 GSM. Feather like a chicken, bled through the page. Fabriano Eco Qua 85 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Ayush 100 GSM paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is 52 GSM Tomaway River. No feathering, no bleeding, normal ghosting. This is the Jot Journal from the Dollar Tree. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Marmon Nemosity 80 GSM dot grid. No feathering, no bleeding, and that's just a little bit of bleed through from where I put it on really thick. Because again, I couldn't get the nib, I couldn't get the ink to grab the paper. This is Oxford optic paper. There's one little tiny feather right there, and it did bleed through the page. Hi Ron, how are you? I like the color and it looks good to know I count on moleskin. Yes, you can always count on moleskin to be feathered like a chicken. I'm doing well, thank you. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM. No feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Ooh, that's not good. Lamy booklet 90 GSM. There, no feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. It is spreading into the page, and it did bleed right through the page. That's too bad. Unison Composition Book 2022. Feather like a chicken, bled right through the page. This ink does not like paper. Up and Up, wide ruled composition book. Does look like it's trying to spread into the page, and it did bleed through the page. True Red composition book from Staples.com. Feather like a chicken, bled through the page. This is the Nanami 7 Seas 68 GSM Tomaway River. No feathering, no bleeding, but a little a little bit of ghosting. Sorry, chip got in my throat. This is 80 GSM Rhodia dot pen. No feathering, but a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Buffet handmade paper from Italy. Feather like a chicken, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Sorry, excuse me just one second. This is U-Style notebook paper. Again, feather like a chicken, bled through the page. Wow, that ink is hard on paper. Yeah, some inks are better than others, let's just say that. This is CVS caliber notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Oxford notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Alright, this is Mead wide ruled notebook paper. Oi, feather like a chicken, bled right through the page. This is 5-star Mead notebook paper. Again, feather like a chicken, bled right through the page. This is HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. And it is spreading into the page, and it did bleed through and ghost. This is JNB Copper Plate Graph Pad from JohnNailBooks.com. It does look like it's trying to feather right there and right there. And it did is trying to bleed through the page and heavy ghosting. Original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. It is feathering into the page, and it did bleed through the page. That's too bad. Okay, let's do a comparison panel. Where does this one lie? According to the swatch, it looks gray, but if you look at the, oh, you guys can't see it, but right here it's almost pink. Let me see. Maybe near the gray blues? Let's do some gray blues. Okay. This is Waring Gall. This is Birmingham Pen Company, Molten Tin, next to Waring Gall, The Mind. This is more blue. Diamine, One More Sleep. This one's a little more purple. Colorverse Cotton Blue. Sailor Magno Nadeshiko. Schaefer Script Royal Blue. Andrelium Indigo Bunting Blue. Nemesine Blue Snowball Nebula Twinkle. Lamy Blue Black. Giaba Vert de Gris. Sailor Magno Haha. Tasha Hokusai Fukake Hanada. Colorverse Rainy Day. Tasha Jeans Light Washed. Diamond Odinel. Cross Blue. Colorverse Alpha, and this is more gray. Colorverse Hippo Camp. Ackerman Daufsblau. Pen BBS 179. Lamy Blue. Aurora Blue. Krishna Primary Blue. Diatramentus Black Blue. Kyono Oto Hizoku. Carter Vintage Blue Black. Tasha Jeans Dark Washed. Califolio Oliphant. Sailor Saboku Pigmented Deep Blue. Robert Oster Thunderstorm. Noodlers 54 Massachusetts. Diatramentus Fog Gray. These are kind of similar. Lamy Crystal Benatite. And Diamine Prussian Blue. These are kind of similar. Alright, I want to look at some gray inks just to cover all the bases. This is Diamine Earl Grey, Diamine Ghost, Tasha Yukio Einezu. This is Organic Studio Shimmer Jazz Hands Gray, Noodlers Lexington Gray, Birmingham Pen Company Sterling Silver. These are kind of similar. This is more gray though. Diamine Ash, Pencil, number 2 Pencil Lead, Robert Oster Australian Opal Gray, Vinta Inks Armada, 3 Oysters Cool Gray, Stipula Dark Gray, Diamine Moon Dust, Andrelium Shoebill Stork Gray, Diamine Tempest, Diamine Twilight, Colorverse Under the Shade, Robert Oster Velvet Storm, L'Alta Sam Pastillier Califolio Oliphant, Giaba Vert de Gris. Wow. Just for giggles, I do want to look at some purple inks, because I think that there are 1 or 2 purples in here that might lean that way. Diamine Nightshade, Province Lavender, no. Sailor Magno Neko Yanagi, Pannonia Orgona Lilac, Venta Inks Violet Mascara, Robert Oster Barossa Gilt. Noodler's Tchaikovsky. And that's it. What did you guys think of today's ink? Are you guys looking for a grayish purpley blue ink? Let me know in the comment section below. How does the toilet paper chromatography test work? Well, in normal chromatography, a piece of paper is coated in a gelatized chemical that makes pigment drop to the bottom of a liquid of a certain weight. And the lighter inks get left behind faster than... the darker inks get left behind faster because they're heavier. And the lighter inks continue to progress through the solution up until the momentum of the particles are either too thick to move or there's no more liquid to be had. So, for example, the way that I do the toilet, you could, in theory, this is the way that I used to do it. I used to take 1-2 drops of the color, and I just ruined that toilet paper. So I'm going to get a new piece of toilet paper. And then we're going to take a pipette full of clean water, and we're going to put 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1/5 water to ink. Mix it up, and then you take the toilet paper and you touch it to that corner, and the heavier elements stay behind longer. But because I'm doing it from the middle, the ink kind of graduates outward instead of from one corner. What this is for basically learning what colors are in the ink to make art. And I can show you some of the art pieces that I've done, and you can see how some of the other colors react. This was from one ink. You can see that there's blue and purple and pink and goldish silver luster dust. That's just one ink. One ink did that. Here's another. This is like a grayish green. You can kind of see that there's lighter green, and then there's like a gray in here with even like slight hints of purple and yellow. And some are just boring blue. There's like one color. And then here's another one that has multiple chromatographies. You can see that there's a purple, a pink, and a blue. And here's another one with some green and blue and then pink. And you can get some really cool art out of some of these inks. And then here's one with sheen on it. It's got some red sheen right around here. And here's a brown ink that has a little bit of blue and some pink going on around here. Some like tan with some black. Here's a green one with some gold shimmer. And then it has a little bit of green and blue and teal in there. So, yeah. And some of them, I do a splotch down, and then I do the reverse bleach method, which sometimes if you put bleach down and then you put a color on top, the heavier particles will settle and stay. Or if it's a pigmented ink, the pigment will stay, but the color will, the ink, the liquid color will bleach out. And so you can write real fun things in it. Just depends on what ink you're using. And I try and do one for all of these things so people can see the art properties. Now see, this one has like a purple in it, and then there's like a dark, like a pinky purple, and then there's a lavendery purple, and then right along the edge here is a gray. And you can kind of see the same thing going on here. You can see that there's like a lighter pink, and then a darker purple, and then right along the edge there's like a greenish gray. Hope you can't see there. That better. And you can kind of see the same thing going on here. So this is just something I invented because I don't want to spend money for actual chromatography strips. But the same thing happens no matter what kind of paper you do it. I've seen people use pieces of paper dipped in salt, like salt water, and then dried, and then when they use the chromatography, the salt will bring out the heavier pigments in the suspension of the fluid. So, I hope that helps. Any other questions, comments, concerns? I've seen people use coffee filters. I've seen people use toilet paper. I've seen all kinds of things. Most people just buy the chromatography strips. But how much can you tell from that one little tiny strip? Not a whole lot, in my opinion. I think this is way prettier, plus you can make some art out of it. For example, okay, that was a dumb idea. Use the ones that you always use. You can make a flower by taking a little bit of glue, or in my case, I'm going to use a little piece of tape, gluing that to the back of the toilet paper chromatography strip. Bending down the folds a little, and you can make yourself a little flower. That's just 3D. And then you can give that to someone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today. I want to thank. So each ink gets a section in your folder that allows all of its properties. Precisely. I can get most of what's going to happen in a chromatography just by looking at the paintings. And sometimes you can even get it when you're doing the water resistance tests. Like, you can't see it in this one, but there's a little bit of pink going on right here. And in some of them, I don't have a chromatography for Rome burning, but this is one of the most interesting ones that I've done so far. It's a brown ink, but when you do like this type of a test on it, it's got purple and like green and gray, and it's brown, and it's just a beautiful, crazy looking color. And all of these reviews are on my channel, so go check them out. Anywho, I must be off to work, so that is all for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all, so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you, and I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.